Good morning. Saturday morning coffee talk coming at you here today. And oh my gosh, I forgot to get a thing to say it's brought to you. It's brought to you by these lovely coaches who are on the call today. Anyway, today we're going to talk about a topic that everybody keeps asking me to talk about, and that is staying on track over the weekends. So I totally get it because staying on track over the weekends, I believe, is a complete mindset because let me double check. Yeah, everybody's muted. Because I know personally, I do the same thing. I'm like, oh, the week, I'm totally on, totally on, totally on. And I think it's because of just the way we are as a society. We work during the week and we're off on the weekends. And that mindset sinks into us when it comes to our nutrition too. And it's like, oh, it's the weekend. We get to just do nothing and relax. And even though we're busy, busy, busy all the time, we in our mindset are like, well, we don't need to be super strict with our nutrition. And the one thing that we say in our head constantly is, well, it's the weekend. Right? You guys say that, or is it just me? No, everybody does, right? Okay, so the number one thing, and we'll come back to this, is our mindset. And that is truly, I can give you all these tips and you could try to do them, but if you don't change your mindset around your nutrition and what it really means to you, like, am I fueling my body or am I using food as entertainment, basically? That is really important. And that's where you're going to have the biggest change, is how you're thinking around your eating, if that makes sense. But I want you to keep that in mind while I'm going through these tips, because like I said, that has to change first for you to even do these. However, I hate when people say that to me. Well, you have to change your mindset first and then you'll have success. I kind of believe that they happen hand in hand. You make a little change, your mindset changes a little bit. You make a little change, your mindset changes. It's not like you got to do this before you do that. I think it's kind of at the same time, right? So as you start making little changes, you start thinking differently. So keep in mind that you have to change your mindset, but also feel free to do these tips and work on both at the same time, if that makes sense, right? Okay, so number one, plan and grocery shop on Friday. So this is just something that I just happened to do a couple weeks in a row, and I was like, oh my God, I found that if I am going out and buying my groceries on Friday and have my meal plan ready Friday, that I actually focus my attention on Saturday and Sunday. Just like if you were doing it Sunday, you focus your attention like Monday, Tuesday, right? If you just change the day that you plan your meals and that you go grocery shopping, you actually are more focused for Friday and Saturday. Does that make sense? Sometimes people love to do the 3-day refresh, and I love on 3-day refresh, it talks about maybe you want to do this over the weekend, right? Because you're focused on that Friday, Saturday, Sunday then, versus doing it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then you lose it over the weekend. So if you just change around the days that you start, like, oh, my week for my nutrition starts on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? And a huge, huge bonus tip, if you want to save time and money, and I've been fighting this for a while, is to get your freaking food delivered, okay? So I just had this conversation with Kaylee, and I called her, and I think I called her twice this week, just crying, being like, I'm overwhelmed. What should I do? You're a mom of 4. Tell me how you do all this, right? And one of the things that she said is she gets her food delivered. And I was kind of surprised by that because I've been fighting it for a couple of reasons. I'm like, well, the food's a little bit more expensive if you go online and look at the prices versus if you go in the store. But she totally hit all of that out of my head. She's like, Ashley, I have saved so much money by buying my groceries online because I'm not emotionally or just haphazardly grabbing stuff while I'm there. I'm sticking to it because I'm sticking to the list because I'm not even there to grab the things out, right? So she's saving a ton of money by just buying the things that she needs, and so much time and frustration, especially if you have children, going grocery shopping. And, it's not even if you have children, if you are full-time working and you're really busy and you want to spend that time with somebody else, that is such a time suck to go grocery shopping. So here's the cool thing about buying your groceries ahead, like online, is once you do it once or twice, everything's saved in there. Now you're saving even more time because it's just click, 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 click. Oh, I need that done. And then you get your groceries at a certain time. So then you can get them totally ready on Thursday and have them delivered Friday night before you go out for the evening. And then tip number two is prep Saturday morning. Here we are, coffee talk. People get on here Saturday morning because they're available Saturday morning, right? People do cleaning Saturday morning. They get their stuff together Saturday morning. If you do your prep, your food prep while you're doing your cleaning, like, okay, I'm going to throw some sweet potatoes in the oven. I'm going to throw some veggies in the oven. I'm going to throw some chicken in the oven. Like, a lot of our food prep tends to be just stuff that we roast in the oven, right? You could do that while you're cleaning the kitchen. Throw your stuff in the oven, clean the kitchen, go clean the bathrooms, whatever you got to do. Just make sure you're setting your phone timer because I'm known for someone to walk away from the kitchen while something's cooking and it totally burns. So that is another tip to prep Saturday morning, get your groceries done. Hold on a second. Get your grocery shopping done and delivered Friday night. Now you have the entire weekend to be ready and on track. Okay. So tip number 3, schedule meetups on the virtual gym for your workouts and your food prep. Oh my God, that dog is so cute. So we have a virtual gym through Destiny United. It's 24 hours. What that means is it's a video conference call, okay? And there's one link. It's the same link at all times. So you can send your accountability buddy that link. And you can say, hey, we're going to meet up, just like you would if you were meeting up with someone to go running. We're going to meet up at 7 a.m. or 7:30. I mean, we're talking the weekend here, so maybe not 6 a.m., but whatever. Find a time to meet up, especially Saturday and Sunday, because you want to stick to your routine as much as possible. Being, continuing, like, I know this isn't about working out, but when you work out on Saturday and Sunday, you tend to eat better Saturday and Sunday because you're in the same routine that you were throughout the week. Right? So meet up with someone. But the other thing that you can do with that virtual gym link is you can meet up with someone for food prep or food meal planning. You can be like, oh, I have been so bad at remembering or planning to do my meal plan, like literally just to write it out. Do you want to meet me Friday at 8 p.m.? We'll have, a cup of tea and we'll just talk on here and meal plan, and we'll swap some recipe ideas. You can do that, and you can meet up with multiple people at one time, and then you'll get a lot of other ideas, and your meal planning could go much quicker if, like, you're bringing 2 recipes and your friend's bringing 2 recipes. Do you know what I mean? And you can even say, okay, you bring 2 recipes that are less than 20 minutes to make, and I'll bring 2 recipes that are less than 20 minutes to make, and there we go. That's the whole week, because I only plan 4 or 5 dinners. So that's an idea for you to meet up on the virtual gym. Okay, so that's plan grocery shopping Friday, bonus tip, get it delivered, prep Saturday morning, schedule meetups on the virtual gym for your workout and food prep. Number 4, treat responsibly. All right. So if you plan, now this is only if you're treating, like if you're on a plan where you don't want to have treats, which I totally understand. I personally will do better if I don't have any treats. Just stick to my meal plan. Don't even give me the sugar. Don't even give me whatever, because it's going to get me a little off rail when I'm trying to lose weight. But when I'm maintaining what I've already done, I do have treats. So in Ultimate Portion Fix, you have 1 to 2 treats a week that you have allotted for. And that's the foundation plan. If you are on 2B mindset, you can treat as long as you track it and really see how it affects you, right? So if you treat responsibly, what does that mean? It means if you plan ahead throughout the week and you're like, I am going to make this one Fixate brownie recipe. By the way, the guys, that is so freaking good. From the Fixate cooking show. I'm going to make that on the weekend, and it's going to be like an event with my kids. Like, I'm going to have them help me, and we're going to make it together. And then we're going to have it as the dessert for the weekend, right? Then you have something planned ahead. You're treating responsibly, and you're looking forward to it over the week so that you can push off any cravings that you have during the week. So the push off method of saying, Okay, well, that looks really, really freaking good. But I have my treat planned for me on Saturday, and I'm really excited for that. So I'm not gonna have that now, but I'm not like restricting myself because I'm gonna have this treat over the weekend, and I'm really looking forward to it. So if you push off those treats during the week because you already have something planned over the weekend, and it's portioned out ahead of time because you're picking something from the Fix 8 cooking show, it's extra healthy because it's swapping out things that you wouldn't normally use, like those Fix 8 brownies use chickpeas instead of flour. Then you're making it super healthy. You're teaching your kids some good ideas about how to swap out foods and how to treat responsibly. Okay, so other ideas on Fix 8, by the way, they have ice cream on Fix 8, they have brownies, they have cake, they have so many good things, popsicles, just anything you can really think of, they have. They make really good icing. So don't think that these things aren't delicious just because they're on the Fix 8 cooking show. They are freaking good. Okay. And then you can track it and you can just see how it makes you feel and enjoy it guilt free. Okay. So treat responsibly. Number 5, bring a Fix 8 dish for parties or holidays. I personally bring a veggie tray every time I go to any party at all. I'm always the one who like clicks the veggie tray button because nobody else does. But something that that I realize with the veggie tray is they always have that big dip thing in the middle that's like really bad for you because it's like so many calories and hidden sugars and just a whole bunch of stuff, and you end up eating so much of it when you're dipping those veggies. I found in the Fix 8 cooking show, again, I'm telling you, this cooking show is amazing. It's made by a chef. He's really awesome. He makes meals just taste so delicious. There is baba ganoush in that Fix 8 cooking show, and it only counts as a veggie. So can you believe it? You could be dipping your veggies in veggie the whole time that you're at a party. I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. So it's mostly made out of eggplant. So if you don't like eggplant, you might not like this, but like I tell my kids, don't knock it until you try it, right? Because I used to hate eggplant until I started trying it in other things. And I was like, it's not so bad. So write that down, baba ganoush. It's in the Fix 8 cooking show. It's so good. And can you imagine being at a party and literally pigging out on veggies, right? Like that's awesome. So always bring a dish so that you know that you have something there. I personally would always make sure when I'm going to a party, I might ask ahead of time in a way that's not like, by the way, I'm on a diet. Can you tell me what's there? But just ask them, hey, do you want me to bring anything? Do you know what kind of food is going to be there? Dig in a little bit, and they'll tell you. If I know that there's a healthy, clean protein, then I'll only bring the veggies and all that. But if there's not a clean protein, then I'm kind of like, I feel like I need to bring something with the protein in it. Does that make sense? Because if I don't have that protein, that red, then I'm not going to be full there and I'm going to eat everything else in sight. So that's a tip about dishes for parties, holidays. In the cookbook from Fix 8, and on the Fix 8 cooking show, there's a ton of recipes for holidays. Now, these recipes are so freaking good that I actually make them for dinners sometimes. It just depends. Like, look at the recipes. They're really, really good. So that's parties, holidays. You got that in the bag. All right, 6. Bring a meal every time you leave home. So this is something that Autumn Calabrese would say during 80-Day Obsession, and I haven't heard her really say it anywhere else. I mean, she might say be prepared, have snacks ahead of time, like planned to bring with you. But in 80-Day Obsession, when she talks about timed nutrition, which, by the way, if you never did timed nutrition, check it out. You'll probably love it. She always emphasizes bringing an entire meal with you before you leave. And it doesn't have to be fancy. Literally, when I do it, I look through my fridge. I'm like, I can make that a protein. Like I might have leftover chicken or something or salmon, and I'll just shove it in a red container. Oh, I need a purple, shove it in a purple container, like grapes or an apple, anything. A veggie, I might literally just cut a cucumber in half and bring that and put it in a little cooler and go, right? Even if I'm not planning on being out long, it has saved me so many times. You never know when you're going to be stuck in traffic, when you ended up meeting up with a friend that it was like unplanned. If you end up like, I'm a chatty Kathy, is that how you say it? Chatty Kathy. If I go out and I run into someone, I end up talking to them for an hour and a half, and my kids hate me for it. But then I just missed my next time of eating, and then I'm starving, and then you want to stop at like Chick-fil-A on the way home, right? Grab those foods and just put them in a cooler, and please, please, please do not think it has to look fancy. Like, just literally grab something out of your refrigerator, stick it with a cooler pack in a little cooler, and go. Don't worry about it looking like a meal, right? But that little, like literally, if you're chewing on a hard-boiled egg in the car, you're going to be so happy that you had that and you didn't have to waste money and time and yucky calories at a fast food store. Okay? So bring a meal with you every time you leave, especially on the weekends, because schedules change constantly, right? All right. Number 7, we are cooking. Do as I did talk about this a little bit. The next 3 things, actually, I talked about a little bit, but they're important. Do as much of your routine as possible. So I talked about the fact that we work out in the morning, but let me give you an example of what happened to me. So in the mornings, Monday to Saturday, I wake up, I grab my meal because I'm on Time Nutrition, right? I grab my meal, I eat it, I drink Energize, and then 20 minutes later, I work out, right? That routine is so ingrained in my head, and I do way better sticking to daily routines than I do weekly routines. They just, for some reason, I have a really hard time sticking with like something that I'm supposed to do once a week versus what I'm supposed to do every day. Does that make sense? So on Sunday, when Sunday would come around and I'm like, well, I'm taking Sunday as a rest day, I'm not going to work out, my nutrition would be off, I found, like totally off, because I wasn't doing that morning routine that I was so used to. So what I found is that even if it's a rest day, I'll keep it in there as a workout day, and I'll do like a really simple stretchy yoga or a stretching video or foam rolling, but I'll keep that routine exactly the same. I wake up, I eat my meal, I drink my Energize, which even though you're not supposed to drink Energize when you do a really a really light routine of workout, but I do anyway. I drink my Energize and then I work out, because my day is so smooth then. My mood is so much better. Jesse could probably tell you on here. And that I just have to stick to that routine because it works really, really well for me. And if I do that, then my nutrition kind of falls in line because I'm just so used to sticking to that routine. Does that make sense? So whatever your routine is, whatever you're so used to doing, try to keep doing that. So that you can keep your mindset in this, I am fueling my body, I am loving myself by eating clean, and I'm going to stick in this routine because it makes me feel good, right? So try to do your routine as much as possible. What did I write on here? Eating everything, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yep, okay. 8, we talked about this already. Mindset. Weekends, we tend to have this mindset of, I'm just going to relax and I don't need to be structured and I'm just going to hang with my family and I'm going to go out to eat and eat whatever I want. I'm going to have a couple drinks. And so I need you to just change it around and try to emphasize your weekend on hanging out with your family, with your friends, doing activities more than food related activities, right? So spending time with your family does not need to be based around food. I'm not saying that you're going to starve yourself. Yeah, you're still going to eat, you're going to fuel your body, you're going to enjoy your food, right? Like just like you would during the week. But try to set the times that you're spending with your family around other things, like bike riding, game nights, hikes. My kids are young and I haven't done this in a long time, but we used to do obstacle courses. They were so much fun. We would just literally grab whatever we could around the house, get like an umbrella, a broomstick. We have these little cones and we would turn our house into an obstacle course. Okay. So just try to do things that are based more on activities, physical activities versus eating. Makes sense? And then you also could do that like treat thing. And so if if your kids really love to bake, or this is something that you normally do with them, make dessert on the weekend, then go to the Fixate cooking show, find something with them. They have the best those little videos about that show cooking is just like watching the Food Network. It's literally exactly like it. My kids love it just as much as if you would turn on the Food Network or Cake Wars or whatever. They love watching those. So use those as your screen time. Watch some of them with them and pick something out with them. Like that whole thing could be a whole family event, right? So have fun with that. Really dive in and just don't even tell them that they're healthy recipes. Just like let them watch the shows. It's TV, they'll watch them. Right? So same with us. And same with my husband. He loves watching them too. So whatever you put on the TV, they'll watch. So just put that on the TV and be like, oh, that looks yummy. Oh, what channel is this? Who knows? Really have fun with that. So plus you're teaching your kids how to eat healthier. You're teaching them how to regulate what they're bringing in when it comes to sugar. Okay, very last one. This is really important. Oh my God, Samantha, is it your birthday? Ah, happy birthday! Shut up! Happy birthday! This is so freaking cool. Sorry, I'm so squirrel. Okay, last one, and then we'll sing happy birthday to Samantha. Forgive yourself and don't beat yourself up. Okay, this is so important. If you end up eating a bag of chips, okay, or whatever, half a pizza, I don't know, whatever your thing is, whatever you end up like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. Just forgive yourself and move on and start right back. Do not punish yourself for that thing by working out extra or not having your yellows the next day. Like that is something that I've definitely done or said I was going to do. Don't do this. Don't eat something bad one night and then say, I'm not going to have yellows tomorrow to make up for it. And then the next day have the yellows and get mad at myself for having those yellows. All right? Don't do it. It doesn't matter, right? Have the thing. I'm not saying have the thing. I'm not saying plan to do that. I'm saying if you did the thing, you did the thing. Don't apologize. Forgive yourself and move on. Okay? Start right back where you're supposed to be. Don't beat yourself up for it. Don't punish yourself for it. Just move on and get right back on track. Okay? Also, another mindset thing. Don't be like, well, I screwed up. The weekend's effed. I'm going to start on Monday. Give me all the things, right? That's another thing that we tend to do, right? Don't do that either. Just get right back on track. Very next meal, get right back into routine. Those are things that has helped me huge time. But I'm not perfect. The last couple weeks, I've been like 2 weeks, I've been not that great ever since pumpkin spice came out, right? So it's time to reel it back in. My pumpkin spice is a treat, so I need to treat responsibly, right? So back on track, reel it in. The quicker that you can call your upline, if you're not a coach, call your coach, and really dive in with someone, the better. Now, does anybody else have any suggestions? Because I'd love to hear them. What helps you stay on track over the weekends? Anything, smallest thing.
So I literally make sure that I always have a full thing of ice water with me wherever I go. That's one of the first things I check in the car. It's like I look, even for my husband, I turn around and go, where's your water?
That's a great one. I love that. Yes.
If there's something else in the cup holder, then sometimes that avoids me from getting my Starbucks pumpkin spice. Like, oh, there's no room to put it anywhere.
Oh, well, yeah. I love it. Love it. Love it. Very good. Anybody else? That's such a good suggestion. And yeah, water, if you're hydrated, then you're probably not going to be as hungry, because a lot of times we think when we're hungry, we think we're hungry, but we're actually thirsty. Anybody else? Anything? No? All right. I am going to stop recording.